Look, today we catch up with the bloke who's quickly become one of Hollywood's leading heartthrobs, thanks in part to a string of blockbuster movies and, of course, his ridiculously good looks. But Glen Powell is more than just a handsome face. He's a talented actor and writer, and his latest on-screen role is proving exactly that. Not only does he star in the new Netflix flick, he also wrote it. It's called Hitman. Before he was flying alongside Tom Cruise, he was Chad. Glen's starring role as Emma Roberts' terrible boyfriend in Scream Queens put him on the map.
Are you fake crying? Stop fake crying. When you fake cry, you are so not hot.
Leading to major roles in some blockbuster flicks. Then came that teeny tiny movie that you may have watched.
What do we have here? God, here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Yes, Glen's role as Hangman in the big-budget Top Gun sequel set Glen on the path to leading man glory.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen.
Which was cemented when he starred alongside Sydney Sweeney in the rom-com of the summer.
Are they doing Titanic?
And for Glen's latest flick, he's taking on some killer alter egos.
I realized not everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
Congratulations on the film. Tell me about this guy, Gary Johnson. True story. Tell me about, you wrote it. Tell me about jumping into his many shoes.
Yeah, Gary Johnson, I found out about this guy, from a Texas Monthly article. It's this true story about this guy who's, he's a psychology teacher. He moonlights with the police department in murder for hire cases. So when someone's trying to kill their husband or their wife or their business partner, there's a sting operation going around. He ends up getting called up to become the guy that is acting as a fake hitman and finds this knack for psychologically breaking them down and becoming the fantasy of who they think the hitman is that they want to see across from the table. And because hitmen don't exist, he sort of takes it really far and becomes the sort of Laurence Olivier of fake hitmen.
I had it down to a science.
Sounds lovely.
So it's this really wild premise, and then the story really starts off and it's a true part of Gary's life where he sat down with this woman who's trying to kill her husband. He believes that she doesn't want to do it. He believes in her heart, he believes in her goodness, and really falls for her and ends up convincing her not to kill her husband. And that's really the launching point of our entire story. Sort of a man who's stuck in this identity of a hitman and meanwhile getting caught up in this amazing romance.
Things got, complicated.
Madison.
Adria, you're a ridiculously beautiful person who wants to kill their hubby, and you're working with this dude sitting next to you. Tell me about this project from your perspective.
My favorite thing about this movie really is about how these characters are constantly reinventing themselves and creating each other's fantasies, both for themselves and for each other. I loved collaborating with Rick and Glen and getting in there and getting my hands dirty when it came to sort of molding this character. I have a real deep attachment to this story and to this film because there's a piece of it that also feels mine, and Rick does that with his movies.
You're making that little doggy. What's the story? What's going on there?
She really knows how to charm the Texans, that's for sure.
This is Glen's dog, who I think is gonna come home with me, right, Brisket?
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
Hey, before I get there though, do you miss us here in Sydney town, mate?
I miss Sydney every day. I tell you, that was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. I left that shoot wanting to buy in Australia, so I'm definitely planning my next trip down there. I'm trying to convince a group of friends to come down there and hang out with you guys once summer hits.
Anyone but you two back in Sydney. I mean, it writes itself, doesn't it?
You don't have to twist my arm.
I mean, I want to watch it. I'm all for it.
You have an ideas man.
They should call it Dickie Flex.
Well, it's Netflix this Friday. It's the new movie. You know what I mean?
Yes, let's something else.
That
Leave
sounded
it there.
a bit weird, didn't it?
I think let's leave it there.
Anyway.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and
What's my name again?
oh my goodness, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?